And Gavin, is the government going back to the drawing board on this?
It certainly seems that way to a point, Aisling. This is a system which will now replace the Red Cross register, the pledge of registered accommodation, which was set up in the first days after that invasion began 9 months ago today. And Roger Corman today is saying that although it was the most amenable thing at the time, it was already a system that had been set up by the Red Cross to try and receive pledges for people housing refugees, for example, from Afghanistan or Syria, and it was the best thing to do at the time to roll that out, then to extend it to people coming from Ukraine, that it simply wasn't able to deal with that volume of people. So now what we'll have is a centralised register which will immediately notify local authorities, who will then follow up within 5 days for any accommodation pledged. Roger Corman saying in hindsight that would have been the better thing to do 9 months ago.
In February of last year, we used a system that, as you know, had been dealing with maybe 100, 150 applications for a year, and all of a sudden it got over 20,000. If I was doing it again, we'd do it differently. We've learned from that process, and this is why we're bringing in the local authorities for vacant homes from day one.
Now, the government is hoping that this will instigate another round of accommodation being pledged to house the Ukrainian people who are coming to this country 9 months to the day after that war began. The government says to that end it's going to be doubling the payment that is currently made to people who are allowing accommodation be used. Currently, that ex gratia payment standing at €400 per month. The government now hoping to double that to €800 a month, and they hope that that will instigate another round of pledges. But it must be said the government faces some allegation that it is going back to the drawing board, and also still some questions as to what exactly it's doing to try and fulfil the backlog of pledges that were made to the Irish Red Cross. No clarity this lunchtime as to whether the pledges that were already made will now be transferred over to this new system, whether they will still be followed up, or what exactly happens to accommodation that's been pledged in the last 9 months but not followed up as of yet.